My name is Michael Bussey.
My name is Darlene Bogle.
Morning, I'm Jeremy Marks from London, England.
And I want to thank you for this opportunity to tell my story. 30 years ago, I helped create Exodus International. Today, I'm here to apologize.
Imagine, if you can, my shock and horror when I realized in that moment that I was teaching a lie.
Perhaps I should take this opportunity first to make a personal apology, to say how sorry I am and ask forgiveness from all my fellow gay, lesbian, bisexual and transgendered people who might be listening to this for my part in colluding with the religious right in the Western world. Though at the time we did not see it this way, our collusion involved setting up and maintaining an oppressive anti-gay, and I must also say equally anti-Christian view of homosexuality, one that profoundly dishonours Jesus Christ and has betrayed the gospel.
Today, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, a father, a born-again evangelical Christian, and a proud gay man. But 30 years ago, I was not so proud.
My message was loud and clear. Being gay was a choice, and you can and should change in order to be a Christian. I was sincere in the message that I delivered. God didn't hate gays, but homosexuality was not his perfect plan for our lives.
I told the hotline director that I was a Christian homosexual. He told me there was absolutely no such thing.
During this time, I became president of Exodus International Europe. However, I felt increasingly unhappy at what I saw as being the dishonesty of my fellow Exodus ministries. No one seemed willing to look at the issue of our failure to fulfill the promise of healing we claimed to believe was possible. Nor was anyone prepared to consider that there might be an alternative view.
In 2005, after a long struggle, Des passed away from breast cancer. Before she died, she charged me to tell our story and to become a voice, once again, for the gay and lesbian community. Before I met Des, I had considered myself ex-gay because I had ceased sexual activity. I spent my time promoting change in others. When these changes did not occur, the people in my care frequently asked how long it would take for their desires to change. I lied and encouraged them to just keep praying and reading their Bible. When they asked how long it took me, I avoided the question. My heart was in the right place, but my message was not. I apologized to those individuals and families who believe that my message of change was necessary to be acceptable to God. In recent years, I have seen the resulting damage done from rejection, shame, and conditional love. I apologize for my part in presenting a God of conditional love and ask forgiveness for the message of the broken truth that I spoke on behalf of Exodus. My heart breaks as I hear the many stories of abuse and suicide from men and women who couldn't change their orientation regardless of what Exodus and other Christian ministries told them. One of our own female attendees became so depressed over her inability to change that she jumped off a bridge rather than continue the struggle. I was told it wasn't my fault, but my heart knew better. My call today is for those ministries to hear these stories with their heart and to cease spewing messages that damage the families and individuals who are homosexual. Stand up for truth, but not the broken truth of mandated change to be acceptable to God. There does need to be change in our lives, but our sexual orientation is not what needs to be changed and healed.
I need to say at this point that some of us had positive, life-changing experiences attending our Bible studies and support groups. Many experienced God's love and the welcoming fellowship of others who knew the struggle. There were some real changes, but not one of the hundreds of people we counseled ever became straight. Instead, many of our clients began to fall apart, sinking deeper into patterns of guilt, anxiety, and self-loathing. Why weren't they changing? The answers from church leaders made the pain even deeper. Well, you might not be a real Christian. You don't have enough faith. You're not praying and reading the Bible enough. Maybe you have a demon. The message always seemed to be, you're not enough. You're not trying hard enough. You don't have enough faith. Some simply dropped out and were never heard from again. I think they were the lucky ones. Others became very self-destructive. One young man in our program got drunk and deliberately drove his car into a tree. Another fellow leader of the ex-gay movement told me that he had left Exodus and was now going to straight bars looking for guys to beat him up. He explained that the beatings made him feel less guilty. He was atoning for his sin. One of my most dedicated clients, Mark, took a razor blade to his genitals, slashed himself repeatedly, and then poured drain cleaner on the wounds, because after months of celibacy, he had a fall. In the midst of all this, my own faith in the Exodus movement was crumbling. No one was really becoming ex-gay. Who were we fooling anyway? As one current Exodus leader admitted, we were just Christians with homosexual tendencies who would rather not have those tendencies. By calling ourselves ex-gay, we were lying to ourselves and to others. We were hurting people.
I realized for the first time how restrictive and limiting was my message of grace. I was free for the first time in over 15 years. Within weeks, I was asked to resign from the church and removed from Exodus ministry. Des and I began a 12-year journey together, which is told in my new book, A Christian Lesbian Journey. I discovered a large world of gay Christians, and as with Saul in the New Testament, the scales fell from my eyes.
But apart from the sad loss of what I had believed to be many good friends, I have no regrets. I could not possibly return to the spiritually and emotionally corrosive ministry style that proved to be so misguided and downright damaging in the long run. At the last Exodus conference I attended in the year 2000, I noticed banners displaying the message, freedom from homosexuality in Christ. This saddened me because I saw no real evidence of that message in 12 years of attending Exodus conferences. I knew people who, like me, had married, but that was not the same thing. I would now like to try and encourage all those so-called ex-gay Christians who lead Exodus ministries, who in their hearts know very well that what I'm saying is true, to change their minds as I had to simply trust in God once again for their credibility and support, even though that may mean risking all, as you did before.
I love God and I love life, and I have hope. I believe we're making headway. Perhaps one day groups like Exodus will go out of business, and people will no longer feel that they must deny who they really are to attempt to become what they are really not. Perhaps one day. Until then, for those wonderful people, gay, ex-gay, and ex-ex-gay, who have blessed my life and enriched my journey, I am truly thankful. And to those people I may have harmed by my involvement in Exodus, I am truly sorry. Thank you.